Hi there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com, and welcome to my online class. Today is World Card Making Day. It is October 2nd, 2021, and I'm very excited to be sharing. I said 6 awesome techniques. I'm going to tell you, actually, it's probably more. I think 6 was a conservative number. I have a lot of cool things to share with you guys today. I'm actually going to pop right down and share the projects that I'm going to be doing in today's classes. There's several things here, and actually, I'm just going to actually see if I can get you to. There's several things here that are really cool. So I'm going to be sharing how to use embossing paste. I'll be using the Stampin' Up! Shimmer embossing paste today, and it really adds some texture to your projects. Really cool. And there's a little surprise inside every card that we'll be doing today. Every single one is a pop-up card. I'll be actually sharing how to make 2, not 1, but 2 different pop-up card styles. So there's one, and here's the other one. And I will also be sharing how to color embossing paste. So I actually used shimmer embossing paste and turned it into Pool Party, because everything's fun when it's pool party. So here's the second pop-up style that I'll be sharing today. And I'll also be sharing how I did this cool ribbon fold. It's actually surprisingly easy, but very, very cool ribbon fold. And I'll be sharing how to use the Stampin' Up! Adorning. These are, oh my gosh, I forgot the other name of it. My apologies here. They are Adorning Designs Decorative Masks. So we'll be using the masks, and they're like stencils. We'll be using these with the shimmer embossing paste. So I'll be sharing how to use those as well. And I'll actually be doing some heat embossing too, as well as there'll be a few other surprises. So welcome aboard, everybody. It's good to see you guys. So I'm just kind of laying out here I don't know how well you can see those on the table, the decorative masks. So these all come in they come separately. You can purchase them in my online store, but they also are in the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite. So I'll be using a lot of products from that suite today. It's a sweet suite. It's a mega suite. There's a ton of awesome things in it. While you guys are jumping on board real quick, I'll be giving actually a set of these away, a set of these Adorning Designs stencils. All you got to do is drop a comment right here on this video. And if you share this video onto a social media platform and type shared into the original video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, I will enter you a second time into my drawing. And I already see a question out there, and that is, how do you keep them from drying up? Keep the lid on. And when you open up your embossing paste, and I already threw mine out because I use them so fast it doesn't have a chance to dry up. But there's a little round insert in the jar. Keep that on it. That helps too. But yeah, just keep the lid on it and put the lid on it immediately while you're working. We'll get into that in just a minute. I'll share some more secrets. So great to see you guys on board on this Saturday morning. Now, the other really big thing I'm excited about, so it's World Card Making Day. And it's obviously, being a card maker, this is like the Christmas time of, right? The mecca of card makers' dreams. So it is World Card Making Day, and I have a giveaway on Instagram. So in addition to the giveaway with this video here on YouTube and Facebook, I have a gram giveaway. All you got to do is pop over onto my Instagram, Stamp with Tami, and you can enter to win. It is a mini boss. So it's the mini Stampin' Emboss machine. It's this little dude right here. Super cool, right? Love him. I keep this on my desk all the time. This is a great one. So all you got to do there's actually, if you pop over there, I have the instructions on how you can enter to win. But you want to do that after the video because there's cool stuff. You don't want to miss it. Trust me on that one. All right, so let's pop down to the table. I am going to get started with how to use the embossing paste. I'll be using shimmer embossing paste today. This is available in my online stores. Everything that I'm using today will be available in my online store. So I'm going to take the striped one. I like the stripes. I thought they were pretty cool. And I'm using shimmer. So we have regular white embossing paste, and we have shimmer white embossing paste. And the difference is this one's sparkly. And it's not sparkly in a way that glitter is going to come off onto everything. In fact, it won't. It's actually sealed in there pretty good. But super fun. I actually have a fresh jar here, and These are my, I feel like I'm a surgeon. I've got my utensils here, scalpel. So the first, because this is a fresh jar, I'm just gonna mix it up with my little thingy here. And now if I'm gonna use this in a minute when we color, but since we're not coloring just yet, I'm just gonna leave that to the side. And let's start with, I'm gonna use craft paper. So this is craft paper available in my online store in 6x6 sheets, but it is also available as part of the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite, which the masks are also in that suite. You can get a sweet deal when you purchase them all together. But even better, I have a kit. Did you guys see the kit? Oh my God, I'll share it with you after this. So stay tuned to the end. I'll share the kit projects and the special offer on this Gingerbread and Peppermint suite. So because I'm not coloring this particular one, I'm just going with white. I'm going to go right from the jar, and I mean, you don't have to, you can pull it out and then put the cap right back on, because that was the question just now. How do you keep it from drying out quickly? You want to keep that cap on. But when I'm not coloring it, I don't know, I guess I get a little lazy about taking it out, and I just go ahead and put it right on there. So I'm just kind of smoothing it right on there. We want to get the whole thing covered really good. And then, just be careful when you lift up here. Woot! We have these awesome stripes. It's textured. It's thick, right? So it's got a nice fun texture to it. This is going to take a few minutes to dry. I found half hour, it's totally dry, but it does take a few minutes. And a couple of tips here for cleaning. And I usually keep wet naps handy. You can wipe the stencil off with a wet paper towel, wet naps, whatever you have around. You definitely want to do that kind of right away, because you don't want that to dry on your stuff, because it's really hard to get off once it dries. So I'm just going to clean those off real quick. We'll come back to this on the next project, and I'll show you how to color with it. But that is how easy it is to use the embossing paste. It's super, super cool. Now, through the magic video, I have one already done and dried for us. And let's go ahead and jump into the next part of our project, which is going to be making the pop-up part of the card. So for the pop-up part of the card, I'm going to use the paper trimmer. And I'm using, this is crumb cake. So I actually used the craft sheets. They're in our mini catalog for the front, but for the inside part, I'm going to use crumb cake. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I did not bring my ruler down here, so I'm going to mark on I've got my paper trimmer here, and I'm going to mark at 3, let's see. Let's score it first. So score it at 4 1/4. Now this is 4, right? It's 8. I gotta remember what my measurements were. And speaking of measurements, I have a free PDF on my blog that has all the measurements for you, so you don't have to memorize what I'm sharing with you right now. This one I believe it's 8 inches, right? It's 8 by 5, yeah. So I'm gonna score it 4 inches because that will be the middle. Now here with the paper trimmer, the dark blade, you guys can't see. You're looking at the PDF and not the, sorry about that, my bad. Yeah, you know what, funny? Dougie says, I always keep a container of water handy so that you can clean it really quickly. I actually have a glass of water literally right here for that reason, just so I can clean them really quickly. That's funny that you said that. So, and that is a tip right there. Water and paper towels right there. Wipe them off and they're good to go. So the lighter of the blades here is a scoring blade. So I'm going to score this right in half. And that's going to give me my, I don't know how well you can see that. I'll just pull it up so you can see. So that's going to give us our half right here. I'm going to put that back in though, because what I want to do is measure down 3.5 inches. Actually, let's go right here. And I'm going to mark it. I wish I had thought to bring my my ruler down, because you know what, I feel like, let me just double check my measurements on that. I feel like that's a little bit too low. Let's see what I wrote down. Mark down 3.5. All right, I'll go with it. I actually think I'm just going to do 3 today. I did write down 3.5, but I'm gonna go with 3 on this one. I think I cut it down after I measured it. You could use shimmer paint without the stencil. Absolutely, Della. That absolutely, she wants to know if it would make a good Santa hat, like texture for a Santa hat. Absolutely, it would. There's lots of fun different ways. I'm going to be using it with stencils today, but there's lots of fun ways to use it. So what I'm doing is marking the top of. I'll just hold this up so you can see my marks here. So I marked it 1 inch in from the top. So 1 inch here, 1 inch in, 3 inches down. And no worries about the pen marks because we're not going to see them. So you can use your Simply Score tool or your paper trimmer. I have the trimmer out, so I'm just going to keep on going with this and the scoring blade. And forgive me, but I need my readers. Yeah, darn eyes. So what I want to do is line up the 2 tick marks that I put here, the one in the center and the one on the top of either side. It doesn't matter which side you start with. And I'm just going to score from the top of that tick mark to tick mark. So it's going to go from the top to the middle. And then I'm just going to turn it and do the same thing. Line those 2 marks up. Make sure that's right in the middle and tick mark to tick mark. Tick tock, like a clock. And then that gives us score lines right here and here. And that little bone folder work here will give us our fun fold. Move that out of the way. So when we have our thing on the inside, this is going to be the mechanism that actually pops up. And I put the pen marks on the back side. I'm going to actually put them down when I attach this to the card. So that way you don't see them. It does look like a big V, doesn't it? And it pops right up. All right. So next up, we have some assembly. I am going to use the Pillowbox dies. Again, those Pillowbox dies come in the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite. And this is going to be a layer on my card, so I just cut it out of the middle because I wanted early espresso, and I'm using early espresso on the card. I'll show you really quickly. These are, so the Pillowbox dies and the gingerbread dies are both part of the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite. It's a mega suite, so there's 2 die sets. You can purchase them individually or together, and then there's a matching stamp set here, Frosted Gingerbread. We're going to use that one in a minute. The Pillowbox, they make a really sweet little, it's a little treat box. So I just took this tag and I used that to cut it out. And I've got a regular size card base. Again, all the measurements for this are on that PDF. So I'm just going to lay out here our pieces for assembly, just so you can get an eye on them. So these dudes, got a couple of, they look like cookies, right? They're little frosted cookies. They came from the designer series paper, which I put someplace handy. Here we go. So the designer series paper has some fun designs in it, right? So there's different ones. They're made to look like cookies, right? But they could also go as regular ornaments. Double-sided paper here. And so, and this one's different. But the dies also match a lot of these designs. So you can actually use the dies to cut out, like for example, here we've got Snowflake Bell, and they cut that out. Now these ones are a little bit too small, so they don't cut those out. These the circles cut out. I will use those on another project. I'm just kind of going through here real quickly just to kind of show you what we got. And I guess I don't have the Christmas trees handy. I thought I brought those out, but there's a page of Christmas tree. So cut out a Christmas tree, cut out the ornaments. And then this is the craft paper that I used for our card base. Not card base, but our base panel there. And then I'm not done. Oh, there it is. No, it isn't. I thought that was the tree one. I took this, is actually part of the Memories and More card pack. So the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite has a Memories and More card pack, which is great if you're doing memory making, scrapbooking, things like that. But They don't have to be used for that. They can be used for other things too. And it's a really cool pack here. So there's stickers and there's little, since they're supposed to be cookies, we've got little oven racks in here that could be used for other things. And there's a ton of different designs. I'm actually going to use some of these today. And then here's another sheet of stickers. We've got little spatulas and we've got all kinds of cute little things. I cut this out. So I took this card and cut out the star from it. And that's the Memories and More pack. All right, so that is our pieces for assembly. I actually, believe it or not, didn't actually stamp on this card because for the words, I used a sticker from the Memories and More pack. And I just put it over. So we've got the label here from the, sorry, it's sticking to my table. The label is from that Pillowbox die, and I thought this looked so cool layered on top of the little sticker, which has a similar design. Looks really cool on top of the cutout label from the Pillowbox dies. So that will be our first piece. We'll put that to the side. Now let's go ahead and take some seal adhesive and attach our insert to our card base. And you could just use regular seal adhesive here. So how I did this was I just did one side. Just don't put adhesive in the V. So I just did one side. I will, let's see, line that up exactly where I want it inside the card. So one side's down, and then I'll put the adhesive on the other side. So that way it is where, you know, I found if I put both sides down at the same time, it was crooked. It just wasn't going where I wanted it to go. This way it lines up perfectly. So that is going to give us our pop-up. And then we're going to take the little star that I cut out from the Memories and More pack. And now that's going to attach just right here. So I only want adhesive on the side that's going to be attached. You don't want any adhesive anywhere else. Because if you do that, boom, if you do that, the star is going to stick to the back here. What's the name of the fold? I honestly don't know. I'm just calling it a pop-up. I'm showing two different types of pop-up cards today. This is one of them. If somebody has a fancy name for this fold, shout it out. But I honestly, I didn't have a name for it. I just called it pop-up. Pop-up fun folds, because we love those. So now I've got this is what we used for the stencil here. We've got our shimmer white. This one I had already done, so it's already dry. The original one's probably close to being dry, but I found half hour was like, it was good to go after that. So I'm just layering that on a frame of early espresso, and that is not lined up at all. It's difficult to line up when your table's the same color as the panel. I'm going to move it over to the, there we go. There we go. Much better. Okay. So then I'm going to take some red ruffled V pop-up card. All right. Sue thinks it's just called a V pop-up card. There we go. I mean, that makes sense. It's a V, right? So I'm going to take some of this fun mini red, real red ruffled ribbon. I'm actually using Poppy Parade for the colors, the cardstock colors here, but I still think it blends pretty well. And this, again, you can get this in that sweet. You can get this in the gingerbread and peppermint sweet. It's fun stuff. It's a sweet, sweet. And when I say that, I really mean, you know, sweet, S-W-E-E-T, because they're cookies, right? Because they're gingerbread and peppermint and all things like that. But they call it a sweet, like a collection, like a sweet, S-U-I-T-E. Yeah. Too early for me to be spelling things. So I'm just taking, and I have a little bit of seal adhesive there. I'm just going to attach that to the front. Now I'm going to cut. This is Simply Elegant trim. We've got some gold cord in there. And just going to cut a couple little pieces there. You know, I'm sure they will, Peggy. I'm sure they will come out with a DSP with stripes on it at some point in the future. However, it's not textured and glittery. Well, maybe it will be. Who knows? Hey, we could put that request in, right? But here, and especially with the next project, I hope that you get inspired and try it again, because I think you're really going to like playing with it. So back to the trim. It comes in silver and gold. I just cut a couple of tiny little pieces here because I'm going to use those to stick the ornaments onto the card. Now the ornaments I used, sorry, I put a tiny little bit of adhesive on there so I could move things around without messing up my project order, and now they're sticking to the table. Because there's always some kind of fun here. So I took, because I'm popping these up with dimensionals anyways, like it may as well just use that dimensional to hold that piece of cord down, right? Because, yeah, duh. And then we'll just peel the backing off of those and line those up. And then I tucked the gold cord underneath the ribbon after I. And what I mean by that is I kind of lined it up how I wanted it. And then just took and tucked or peeled up and placed under. Like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that on the card with dimensionals, and I'm going to go ahead and use some more seal right there for that guy. I'm going to use dimensionals here because I like a lot of pop. You could put them down flat if you wanted to. Whatever your style is, roll with it. I appreciate you guys joining me today for World Card Making Day. I'm excited to be on here, and I'm excited. I love these projects, so I was like, oh yeah, we're totally having a party with those. And if you like what you see and you don't want to miss any more, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the future stuff, and hit that like button. I love it. I love it when you like it. So I'm just going to put this down over the front. And this little tree goes in the middle. I'm sorry, he goes on the inside. It's not really the middle. I put him on the side in there. There's like a little cookie in there. So card number one, and we'll call this the V pop-up card. V pop fold, fun fold. You guys want to see that on the lower cam here. Boo, boo, boo. Ta-da. It's super easy, right? Okay, so let us roll into card number 2, where I'm going to share how to get colors into that embossing paste. So I'm using Pool Party, and this time I'm going to do something completely different, because the gingerbread and peppermint suite had a lot of like crumb cake and real reds and old olives and traditional colors, and they look like cookies and sweets and yummy things. And I thought, I love it, and I love the traditional stuff, but I also wanted to do something that was totally different, right? That's a complete different style. So I pulled out, I got the snowflakes, and I'm like, yeah, let's go with a fun pool party outside the box type of color scheme on this one. So this time I am going to turn our shimmer paste Pool Party so that it matches the card. So I'm using that Adorning Designs. Again, all of this part of that gingerbread and peppermint suite. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, it is flipping awesome. It really, I mean, you can see that, right? You can see all of these projects, like everything that we're putting on here, just super cool. So I'm taking Pool Party ink pad refill, And the ink pad refill is, you know, you can use it in your ink pad, but there's so many more uses for your refills than just refilling an ink pad. I mean, you know, that's the probably, you know, the one you think of the most, but lots of techniques with these and lots of fun. So I'm bringing the shimmer paste back in, shimmer embossing paste. This time I am going to take my little scalpel. I feel like I'm in the operating room now. And I'm going to pull out a little bit here. I feel like a nurse, scalpel. Like I'm in the OR. Again, I wipe that off right away because once that hardens on there, it's hard to get it off. So I've got my little, and I've got, this is, sorry, I hope this isn't going to pop out on me. It's a ricotta cheese cover from an old ricotta cheese. But if you do this a lot, you could actually use the lids to this, or you can even use these silicone mats. You can put a blob on the silicone mat because it doesn't stick to the mat. Nothing sticks to the mats. They're awesome. Mats are really great for a lot of different uses. And that's one of them. So I'm putting a few drops, you know, however many you feel. However many you're feeling you want. And then kind of mixing it together, you know, like we're putting frosting together. Frosting, gingerbread cookies, and Christmas. It's all a whole bunch of fun, right? Good times. So I got some nice rich color on there. Make sure it's mixed really good. And then I'm just going to start, and I'm going to start right here in the middle and just kind of lay it on there. And that is all you need to do to color your white or your shimmer embossing paste. It doesn't matter which one you're using. They color the same way. Just so you can use any color of ink refill to do that. And then just pour that. Now you're not really pouring it, right? Because this is not so much a liquid as it is well, it's not a solid form either, but you know where I'm going with that. Just spread it out. Spread it out was the word I was looking for. Okay, and then once you have that all out there, just gently peel off your mask. Ta-da! Right? How cool is that? Ah, love it. I love it. So fun. Again, you're going to need a few minutes for it to dry. So if you if you're making a bunch of these, do this part first, put them to the side. I found probably 15 minutes, they're pretty good, but at a half an hour, you can put them through the die cut machine. I mean, they are good to go at a half an hour. All right, now, through the magic of video, I have one all done for us. So that is Shimmery. Let me put that down on the lower cam so you guys can really get a look at how the texture on that. It's shimmery. It's got a fun texture, and it's awesome. And you can do that with any color, so you can really mix it up and do some fun things with it. All right, so now we're going to move into our second fun fold. And I just called it a pop-up fold, so if somebody has an actual name for it, you can shout out there. And again, I have all of these measurements on the free PDF, which is at stampwithtami.com. You can click on the link in this video's description, and you can download these. I have these with every video. And in addition to that, I have Prize Patrol with every video. So if you're popping in late, here's what we got for Prize Patrol. I'm giving away these masks that I'm using, giving a set away, a new set, not the ones that I'm actually using. And all you need to do is drop a comment here in this video. And if you share the video and type shared into the comments, I will enter you a second time. And it's World Card Making Day. Happy World Card Making Day. Woo! And I have a special different Prize Patrol for that, so you can enter both of these. It's a gram giveaway over on Instagram. I dropped it this morning, and that is the mini boss, the mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. You can win one absolutely free. So pop on over to my Instagram at stampwithtami, and you can get the details on how to enter to win that. Back to our regularly scheduled fun fold card. This I'm using shimmer white shimmer white paper to go with the shimmery emboss powder. So there's a little, I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but there's a nice sheen and sparkle to this. And this one, I just want to double check that I did the same measurement here. I think it was, yeah, 8 by 5. So I'm going to score it in half at 4 inches. Again, that is on the PDF that isn't in front of me. So I have scored in half. Now I'm going to put it in 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to move my cutter down to the 3-inch mark. And I'm going to cut from 3 to 5. Just from 3 inches to 5 inches. So just a slit right in the middle. Then I'm going to turn it around. Same thing. I'm going to 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut from 3 to 5 inches. So I have our little cut. 2 slices in the middle of the 2 slices. They're super easy to do with that paper trimmer. And then the center folds one way and the card will fold the other. And let's put that down on the lower cam. You can probably see that a little bit better this way. And then you're going to want your bone folder to really get a nice crisp fold there. So that is going to be where our insert pops up here. I'm with you, Mary, using the shimmer white at Christmas time. Super fun. Okay, so that is our second fun fold for the day. And this project, I have a couple cool things to share because I'm also going to share how I did that ribbon. Now, when I put this on the card base, you can see the Bermuda Bay through the back, which really is not a big deal. It's totally fine. However, I personally didn't want to see that. So I was like, I cut a little piece of the shimmer white. It was like 4 3/4 by 4 and just scored it in half. And then I'm just going to attach it to the back. So that shows instead of the Bermuda Bay. So that's just a little OCD thing. But I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. So if you guys do, I don't have that one on the PDF. It was the measurements were 4 3/4 by 4. And then just score it in half there. And then just attached it. So, and I didn't even attach it in the middle because I was talking and not paying attention. So I'm just going to cut off where it's overhanging. Okay, next up, let's go to, we'll start our assembly. So I'm going to pull in the pieces that I have for assembly here. I am using the scalloped contour dies for the labels on this one. So this upside down scallop contour die here. It's got a lot of nice, they're just a great frame to use when you just want a little something something. These are available in my online store, but you could cut these straight with a paper cutter if you didn't have that. Or the stitched rectangle die would work as well. So I've got layers for the inside and I've got one for the outside. And then from the gingerbread dies, I cut the snowflake. And the snowflake matches the mask that we just used on the front, right? So it matches these guys. They go together. And it also matches the stamp set. So you could stamp this and use the outline to cut it out. So what I did here is none of those things. I cut some vellum cardstock. I cut the solid piece out of vellum cardstock. And then I took some shimmer white and I attached a little scrap of shimmer white to some, this is adhesive sheets. I have adhesive sheets in my online store. They're great when you have any detailed die like that, because when you do that, it turns your piece of cardstock into a sticker. So I cut the detailed part of the snowflake out on that. So now all I have to do is peel that backing off. So these are our pieces for assembly, all ready to go. And actually, before we assemble, right, there's one probably pretty important thing that I gotta do here. All right, so, Sandy, I am totally with you on that. She says she filed that little nub off on the trimmer because when it catched. And you know what? The same thing. It locks, and it's supposed to lock, like some of you probably don't know what we're talking about. Okay. So this guide is supposed to lock down here, and it's just so it doesn't open up on you. But sometimes it's a pain in the butt, right? It's a pain in the butt when you go to open it and it's locked down. So she says she filed it down so it didn't do that. That's a great idea. I actually think I might do that. All right, so I've got Bermuda Bay ink to match our color palette here. And the words are coming from that Frosted Gingerbread stamp set. And I had cut these out of that shimmer white cardstock. So I'm going to stamp that on the front. And then we're going to stamp some wishing you a Merry Christmas for our inside piece. Now we can assemble it, right? The stamping was the most important part. Silly girl. Oh, Benny, you don't know where you put your adhesive sheets. Oh, you need to find those. Gosh, they're a staple for me. I use them almost as much as I use dimensionals, right? Because anytime you cut a die like this is all you have to do to adhere it. Just peel the backing off and then stick it down. Awesome, right? All right, so for assembly, I feel like you know what? When I had everything laid out there, I was missing this layer. I actually cut that layer out of this layer with the shimmer white cardstock so that I could make the most out of it. And that this is going to just be a frame for my front piece. I'll just layer that on top. And we'll go ahead and put that on. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of my seal adhesive at the same time. I saw Sue, so every time I put dimensionals on something, I put them all on and peel them all at the same time. I do the same with the seal adhesive. I do all of my seal adhesive work at the same time, she says. Get a kick out of when you do that. But I actually do that with everything. Like, I kind of go assembly line style. I do all the stamping together, all the die cutting together, all of the seal together, and then all the dimensionals together. I am going to attach this to the card base kind of the same way. I'm going to lay it out there. But I only put adhesive on one side, right? So put it where I want it. There's only adhesive on that one side. Make sure it's exactly where I want it, and then I'll put adhesive on the second side so it's lined up just right on the inside. Okay. So in the interest of doing all of my seal adhesive at the same time, I'm going to use seal adhesive to attach our pop-up piece. This is going to be our pop-up piece right here. So I'll go ahead and put some, and you only want it, can you guys see that okay? I can't tell. You only want it here in this area, nowhere else. So put it on that instead of putting it on here, because if it's anywhere else, this is going to stick to the back of your card, and you don't want that. So let me show you from down here. So we've got, I just put that on right there. So now when you open it, ta-da, pop it up. Woo. Okay. So now these guys are going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. Actually, we'll go ahead and put these down. I'll go ahead and put, actually, I don't think I did use dimensionals on this one. Enter silicone mat. Just a little bit of, the reason why I didn't use dimensionals on this one is because I actually put it right here. And I didn't want it to be too bulky on the inside of the card. So now, Sue, I hope I don't disappoint you too much because I'm not going to do them all at the same time. But I am going to do this. I am going to do this panel. And the reason why is because I want to show you my ribbon trick. I really like how that ribbon came out. I was kind of thinking about ribbon candy when I was doing it. Maybe I'll just call it the ribbon candy look. Ribbon candy ribbon. So that's going to go on the front of our card. So then I have got the glittered organdy ribbon. I've pre-cut these. I wanted 6 pieces. And so there'll be 2 of the same length and 3 different lengths, however you want them to be. I think I did maybe 3 inches, 2 inches, 1 inches, whatever you want. That's fine. It's not as important. Just make sure the 2 are together, the same. The same. And if you guys haven't seen this organdy, oh, it's pretty. See it? Oh, it's got glitter pieces in it. Yeah, it's cool stuff. So for my 2 longer pieces, actually for all of them, we're going to do the same, right? I'm going to put a little bit of seal adhesive on the end, one end, and just attach it together so I have a loop. I'll do that with all of the pieces. You could use glue dots for this part too. Glue dots would work just fine. So now I've got 2 of each size, right? So now they're looped. They're looped, 2 of each side. So I'm going to go ahead and stack them. So I've got long, medium, and small. So I've got my stacked loops on one side. I guess it doesn't matter which side you put the adhesive on, so long as you keep them the same. All right, so now I've got my loops for both sides. So we've got 2 loops, and I'm going to attach them to the back. It's a little faux ribbon candy technique there. I'll attach that to the back of this greeting. I want them to look even. There we go. You guys see that okay? So we've got loops. It's a fun little loop technique. I really like I said, in my head, I was thinking ribbon candy when I was kind of putting it together. And now I'll finish with the rest of the dimensionals. All right, and then once I get that, can you see that okay? So I liked it at an angle, but you could put it down straight like this. You could kind of do whatever your fancy is. I kind of liked it like that. It's just a little subtle something, and the ribbon is just really fun. And then, of course, I finished it off with a little bling bling, because I gotta have a little bling bling, right? So I used rhinestone jewels for this one. And there's several different sizes of jewels, and there's several different sizes of snowflakes. So I kind of went with smaller jewels for smaller snowflakes and larger ones for, and I don't know. I loved all the sparkle in there. So I just kept going. If you wanted to just put a couple in there and put them around the edges, you could do that too. But so our card number 2 is complete. So that is our second card. So now we've done shimmer paste, we've colored shimmer paste, and we've got 2 different pop-up cards going on here. So with card number 1 and card number 2. And I am going to pop into card number 3, but I'm bump pop because we're making pop-up cards. And with that one, I'm going to do some heat embossing. So we'll start with that. We'll start with our heat embossing. And I'm going to take first mark ink. I've got an embossing buddy. If you don't have this, you could use a dryer sheet, you could use a Swiffer, you could use anything to keep static down, especially if you are in an area that gets very dry. Like I'm in New England, and in the wintertime it can get very dry here. Right now it's not terrible. But if it gets really dry, when I pour white embossing powder over the black cardstock, little dust pieces will stick where you don't want them to. And it just keeps the static down. I call the step, if you forget it, you will regret it. All right, so just take a piece of scrap paper here. Place that underneath. I've got white embossed powder here. And oh, this is fun. Can you guys see that? I don't know if there is a dimensional backing in my white embossing powder. Where's the weirdest place that you guys have found dimensionals, right? I mean, that's definitely, that's up there. That's up there with finding them on the dog. Look at, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I don't know if it came out or not. It might still be in there. All right, so I've got my embossed powder on there. I'm going to pour it back, but I'm going to see if I can get that dimensional backing out of the mix. I don't know. It might just... Nope. Oh, I lost it. It's in there for good. Oh, well. We're going to have lots of joy with that dimensional backing every time I use this white embossing powder. Oh my gosh, good times. I know I'm not alone with that, with finding those everywhere in weird places. All right, so I'm going to take my handy dandy heat tool and heat this up. There's just something really awesome about heat embossing that I just absolutely love. Every time I do it, it's still a wow. You know, it melts that powder. I don't know if you guys can see that. So good. But then it looks so awesome. And the white on the black is striking. You can see that. It's awesome. All right, so then I'm going to take that scallop contour die that I had used earlier, and I'll just pop it up here so you guys can see it again. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Oh, maybe I won't. Okay. We'll look at it over here. And for this, I used the smallest scalloped contour die. And through the magic of video, boom, cut it out. Okay, so we've got that. And then I'm going to do exactly as I did with the last card. I'm going to take some of the shimmer paste and I'm going to take a Poppy Parade ink pad refill and just scoop some of this out, mix it up, and put it over the stripes. And through the magic of video, we are going to come out with this. Now, if you have just popped on or popped on late and weren't here for the first two cards, you definitely want to, after the video, rewind, check that out because it's super easy, super fun. I'm just going to put this down here so you guys can see the texture. I just think that texture on there is super cool. I know I have a little boo-boo on there. Yeah, no one's perfect, right? But I'm covering that so I wasn't going to sweat it too much. All right, now, next up, we're going to do the pop-up fold on the inside of this one. So I'm going to bring that paper trimmer back in. And I am going to do the exact same thing I just did on the last card. So I've already scored this one at 4, which is the halfway mark. Again, all of those measurements are on the free PDF. I've got this in 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to score 3 to 5. So it's 1.5 inches in. I'm sorry, slice, not score, slice. I'm slicing from 3 to 5. So we have a slit. Then I'm going to turn this over 1.5 again at the 1.5 mark and slicing from 3 to 5. Aw, thanks you guys. I'm glad you love the cards. I definitely had fun making them and I love being able to share them with you guys. I'm glad you guys like them as much as I do. So then this part folds in and the rest of it folds just like a regular card. Take your bone folder and just burnish that fold. And that's going to give us our pop-up. All right, now I used some more pieces of the, or I used another piece of that Memories and More pack that I shared earlier from the Gingerbread and Peppermint kit, or suite. And this does come in my kit too. but if you, my special offer kits. So I cut that out with the same dies that I cut the words out with. So we have the same kind of matching thing here. And then I cut a star gingerbread cookie out of the designer series paper. And then I cut these guys. I'm not quite sure where I put the designer series paper over here. So again, the dies match a lot of these patterns. So this page, it's a whole page of peppermint, which peppermint candies would make a great background, right? But in addition to a great background, you can use the circle dies that come inside the gingerbread dies here. So gingerbread dies, these little circles, and you can cut these out. So I cut a bunch of them out to use as little accents on the card. And I went ahead and just pre-assembled, I have a layer in the background this time that I didn't have on the other ones, but no big deal. All of this gets assembled the exact same way. So if you weren't here for some of it, you can rewind and check out the other projects. Again, I cut this little piece so that we wouldn't see that poppy parade in the background. So that's just kind of like a bonus little piece there. And I think we have all of our assembly pieces here. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and, oh, we don't. There is one more thing I want to do here. All right. These are our pieces for assembly. I do like to lay them out so you can kind of see what we're going to put together. All right. So take a shot in your mind of that because we'll come back to it in a minute. There is one more thing that I wanted to do with this, the striped. This is, so Poppy Parade, I thought with the shimmer paste made really great peppermint stripes, right? But I wanted it to kind of go with the rest of the card. So I took that same scalloped and contour die set here. And I'm going to take the, let's see. No, it's not that one. It's the second to the largest. Oh, Beth, I have a great deal for you. She's like, now I got to get that sweet. So I have a great deal happening right now, and it's going on till tomorrow, and it's a special offer on the sweet. And I'll pop right over for a little peek at it. If you stay tuned to the end of this, the end of the video, I'll share with you the actual projects that we'll be making are in the class. It's a special exclusive class that goes along with the suite. I have 3 different packages. So 3 different sizes of kit, the kit that you can do. The largest one that has all of the this entire peppermint and gingerbread suite that I've been using today comes with the Memories and More, comes with the designer series paper, comes with the stamps, the dies, it even comes with the craft paper, the ribbon, and the stencils. But I have other sizes too, so to fit your budgets. Check that out at stampwithtami.com. It is my special offer, and the exclusive kit is available until tomorrow. All right, and is asking, how do we get to the free PDF? Stampwithtami.com. Click the video tab. If you are watching the replay, and I know you're watching live, but if you're watching the replay, I will have the direct link in the video. But if you're watching the live right now, if you're on Facebook or YouTube watching live, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, even if you're not watching live. But you can go to stampwithtami.com and click on, and that is in stampwithtami.com is in the description as well. That will bring you right to my blog, and click the video tab, and all of my videos there. I don't know, almost over 800 videos and tutorials there for you guys. So lots more inspiration there if you want to check it out later. So I'm going to cut out this scalloped contour die with the peppermint stripes. Oh, Cornella, thank you. You've made my day. She says she loves the tutorials and she's learned a lot. Thank you. That just made my day. I love hearing that. And sometimes, yeah, one thing about being online as opposed to doing in-person classes, when you're in person, you can see everybody that's across the table from, and I feel like when I'm doing videos, I feel like you guys are across the table from me, but I can't see your faces. Well, a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. So that's really sweet. Thank you for saying that. All right, now we're going to assemble card number 3, and that one, again, we put these pieces out so you guys kind of have an idea already, right? I'm going to do the same thing and put this little cheap piece on the back there, faux piece of shimmer white on the background there for the, to hide the poppy parade from peeking through. Now, if you do this step with this little faux piece in the background, and that's totally up to you if you do it, make sure you don't put adhesive in this piece right here, or your thing isn't going to pop up because it's going to be stuck, right? All right, now for the inside of this one, I took I cut this from that Memory and More pack, and I used the scallop contour die, the same die that I used on the rest of the pieces here. And just to cut out the card, and if you guys are popping in late, I'll just show you really quickly the fun. There's stickers and fun cards because this is all like gingerbread and peppermint and Christmas time, and so there's fun sayings in here that go with everything. But this one, it's beginning to taste a lot like Christmas, right? So I cut that out with the scallop contour die, and we'll go ahead and stick that on. So when you're making your pop-up, make sure again that you only put adhesive in this one little square. Otherwise, it's going to stick where you don't want it to stick. And bada-bing, oops. Bada-bing, bada-boom. We've got our little pop-up dude in there. And then we'll go ahead and attach that to the inside. And again, I'm going to do that one side at a time, so I know that. There we go. Attach there, and then I'll put adhesive on the back of this side so that I know that it's lined up the way I want it to line up. It's just a little cheat there to get you to line up perfectly so you're happy with your outcome. So we've got our pop-up piece here. I've already done the scallop contour die and attached it. I attached that with some black dimensionals. And this dude is just going to go on with some seal adhesive. So this is going to go flat over the black. Did I hear you guys go, what? Black dimensionals? That's super cool. You're right. You're absolutely right. And we're going to use some more. I'm going to use that on this piece. And oh, crumbs. I put this on here and I meant to put the ribbon on first. What a dork. I hope you guys can forgive me for this. I don't know. Am I the only one that does this? Like, forgets to put some of the important bling bling on there after you, and then you got to kind of take it apart. Sometimes I feel like I'm just here to teach you what not to do. But it's okay. It's not going to hurt it. We're just going to have to peel it up gently now that I've already attached it. So I'm just attaching ribbon over the middle. This is that mini ruffled ribbon. Also comes in that same suite and also comes in my special offer kit that you can stampwithtami.com, and I have links for that in the video's description as well if you're interested in learning more. So the words that we heat embossed, they're on black paper, right? So anytime we do that, thanks, Daggy. I'm glad I'm not alone. She says I do that all the time. Anytime I've got black cardstock or even navy or a dark color, these black dimensionals are key. I think it's just that special something, right? So they blend right on there. You can't even tell that they're there. So if someone's trying to reverse engineer your card, they're not even going to see them. They're just going to blend right in. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I love it. All right, now I've got a peppermint to stick on the front, and then I've got some peppermints to stick on the inside. So I cut these out of that designer series paper that I showed you guys. Now, one other little thing you may want to do with these guys before you stick them on, and I'll do it right now, is take a Wink of Stella pen. This is a glimmer pen, and just kind of go over them. So that this will make them all shimmery. So they'll match the shimmery sparkle of the stripes on the front that we made. Now that dries really fairly quickly, so I think we're good to go ahead and take them off. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this. The one on the front, I'm going to put a dimensional, but the rest of them, I'm not. Because the rest of them, I'm going to put on the inside. And I don't want it to be too puffy on the inside. So I cut the star, but on my other one I used the mitten cookie. You could use any of the cutouts from the designer series paper, or you could stamp them and cut them out. These cut out with the dies, they match the dies, so they go either way. Now these guys I'm just going to line up on the inside. You can use as many as you want. I cut them out with the circles from the... They're in the die set. The circles are in the die set. Actually, they're still a little sticky, and just in the interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and stick them right on there. And I'll adhere them more permanently later. But these are our peppermints from our peppermint and gingerbread and peppermint suite. So that's our little peppermint. So you can put them wherever you want them, kind of line them up. And that is our colored shimmer embossing paste on the front, and a little surprise inside for the pop-up. So, and wait, there's more. These more. Oh, you guys, thank you. I'm so glad you like the cards. So our last card today, and this one, I'm going to use the I'm going to use this stencil from the Adorning Designs set and of masks. And I put the embossed paste right on it. I pre-did it here. And I love it. I love it. It's like frosting, right? It's like the little, what do you call that frosting that's on the, oh my gosh, there's a name for it, you guys. Somebody's going to know. Somebody's got to shout it out there. I'm drawing a blank, but it looks like little frosting pieces. It looks like this could be the roof of a gingerbread house. So if somebody out there hopefully is going to get an idea and make this gingerbread house, and you're going to share it on my Saturday, Share Your Craft Saturday on my Facebook page, because I'm dying to see it. All right. So I hope that I've inspired somebody to do that. All right. So I did that on the craft sheet. So on the craft sheet there, and super fun. So because these are mostly the same techniques we did on the other cards, I'm just going to show this one pre-done. So I layered that, used the scallop contour dies here. This is, again, that same words from the Memories and More kit. These were cut out of designer series paper. And then on the inside, we have our pop-up. And these are just some designer series paper and some pieces from the Memories and More kit. All right, now don't bounce, because those are the 4 projects, but I'm so not done. All right, so if you guys popped in late, these are the 4 projects that we did, and I shared a ton of techniques here. I know I said 6, but I really feel like there was a lot more than 6 going on there. So we had shimmer paste, where I showed how to use that with the decorative masks. I shared how to color the shimmer paste to make it any colors, and 2 different types of pop-up cards. We're calling one of these the V pop-up, and the other one, we'll just call it a pop-up card, whatever. If somebody has a fancy name, shout it out. I love fancy names. And the ribbon technique, heat embossing, and I'm sure that hopefully each one of you picked up a tiny little nugget from here. Everything here is that I used is from that gingerbread and peppermint suite. You can purchase all of these individually in my online store. You can purchase them as a suite, and now until tomorrow, you can purchase my special offer on the entire suite, or I have 3 different sizes. So the entire suite, but then I have smaller set packages that you can buy, and you're going to get a free class. And I wanted to show you the class projects, or at least a couple of them, because I fell in love with this suite. And I just had a lot of fun. And I know a lot of you guys did too. So I know a lot of you may already have this suite. And I got great news for you if you do, because I allow substitutions. Because I know that this was really cute in the catalog, and a lot of you jumped on it right away. So if you already have it, you can substitute in my packages and still get the free class and still get all of the projects. So here's the projects. These are, so there's Memories and More. They're the card base and envelopes. So these come in a pack, and this is part of the suite actually. So that these come in there. And then as a bonus, in addition to my class, as a bonus, you're going to get a template, or at least instructions, a PDF and with instructions and measurements and all that, for over 15 designs for the Memories and More pack that I shared with you, the cards and the stickers and all that, to go onto the card bases. So they're all super cute, right? Just a couple of, they're awesome to put together. They're super cute. This is the Memories and More pack, and this is, you'll get that when you purchase my kit. You'll get the 15 different designs here. And then my regular class that's also included in that special offer is fun folds and pillow boxes. And I didn't bring the pillow boxes down, so forgive me. But we've got fun folds here. We've got a little gatefold with a belly band. This I had to do because there's these little pieces. They look like little candies that come in the kit, and I had to do the shaker card with it. And then look at this one. Talk about fun folds, right? So if you want to learn more about this one, check out my special offer. And in addition to that, but wait, there's more. Stay tuned. I have more to share with you. But first, I do want to share a couple things, especially for those of you jumping in late when that wasn't it. The giveaway is I'm going to find it eventually. Here we go. Giveaway for this video, for this online class live stream, is a set of the decorative masks, the Adorning Design decorative masks that I used on these cards. If you drop a comment here on Facebook or on YouTube, you will be eligible to win. And if you share this video onto social media, you will be entered a second time. And also, it's World Card Making Day, and I have a special giveaway for that too. You will find this on my Instagram. I am giving away a baby boss. So the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I have the instructions on how you can enter to win that. They're absolutely free. Pop on over to my Instagram at stampwithtami, and you can enter to win that. That's my this is my class, and that was some fun for us for World Card Making Day because it's like Christmas for us card makers. All right, and the my specials this month, I'm double points, so you can earn free stamp sets and double time with your orders in my online store. And if you purchase my kit, you get double points with that. And also, if you're interested in joining my VIP club, which is amazing, and another place where you're going to get a lot of free exclusive classes from me, you can get a free Prince and Princess stamp set. All right, so I promised you more, right? More. So my last couple projects just to share from this suite. This one was a tutorial that it is on my blog, and it is also on the class page. So when you get the free tutorial, you'll find a link to get the tutorial for this card too. I used the bells, and again, wanted to go outside the box, wanted to do something a little different with the dies set here. So I took the dies, and this is an edging from the die set here, and I used the shimmer white cardstock that I'd used on some of these projects, and made this card. It makes a great wedding card. It also makes a great holiday card. You could, and without words on it, and I did leave it intentionally blank, you could use it for a lot of occasions, right? You got your bridal shower, wedding, you've got your birthdays, you could celebrate with it. I mean, they're bells. And my Nana was a handbell ringer, so I don't know, it reminded me of her. And one more card, and I will have instructions for this up on my blog this week. This one, I took the pool party and the stitched rectangle dies along with the dies and stamp set here, and just made a really fun a card here that's all almost monotone with the pool party, but I love it. I love it. It just, all of the dies play so well. And again, you can go outside. You can go outside the box. They're I can't even spit out the words. The projects here, again, a lot of these are traditional coloring. With a holiday coloring. They were definitely made to look like cookies and gingerbread houses and, all the holiday fun things that we do. But I did like to go outside the box with them and share some different ideas. Definitely drop a comment and let me know which one was your favorite. And if you do these, or even if you do, if you got inspired and go outside the box and do other ideas, I would love to see them in my Share Your Craft Saturdays, which is today. Every Saturday on my Facebook page. I'd love to see what you guys are working on, because you guys can see what I'm working on. I want to see what you guys have been doing and what inspires you and all the different projects you're working on. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed all of these projects and the class. Happy World Card Making Day, and I will catch you back here next week.